Aston Villa really look unstoppable at home this season. They'll be looking to create a new club record later of 15 straight home league wins against Mikel Arteta's leaders, Arsenal. Well, these numbers speak for themselves. They've taken 42 points from a possible 42. They've only trailed at home for 40 minutes in the last 10 months. One of the driving forces in Villa's midfield this season has been captain John McGinn, and he's been speaking to a former Villa skipper in Andy Townsend.
John McGinn! Oh, what a finish.
Ready, boys? All good?
John McGinn is living the dream right now. The tonic that Aston Villa need.
John, great to see you. Look, I know how brilliant a club Aston Villa is to play for. And we've got something in common because there's only a select few that get the privilege to lead the club, to skipper the club. It's magic, isn't it?
Aye, but I've not managed to get a trophy, but you managed to get a couple of them, wasn't it? It was a couple.
Couple, yes.
I think I've grown into it, definitely. What Gerrard said when he appointed me as captain, he said, I like the way you treat people on the training ground. I want others to look at you like that and say I'll do the same. So I've just managed to try and be like that.
What about that relationship between the manager and the captain? How's that with you and the boss at the minute?
My relationship's good with him, but he's good with everyone. I wouldn't say there's a massive personal one there, probably because of the language barrier.
Yeah.
But he'll come to me and ask things. What do you think? I'm going to do this. Do you think it's okay? And he's the boss, so normally I say yes.
Do you find yourself knocking on his door much or not?
I have a few times. Sometimes I've regretted it massively. Very intense the way he kind of looks through you. But I know that the players still do that. You need to go and ask for this, you need to go and ask for that.
They want to know what days off they're getting.
Christmas Day, are we off Christmas Day? You go and say to the manager and he goes, we've got a game Boxing Day, why are you not thinking about Boxing Day? And then you think, why have I asked that?
Is there a single thing with him that really has changed the direction of the way everybody's thinking here at the minute?
I would say mentality. The mentality hadn't been right here for a while. Everywhere was negative. The negativity was just constant. The transformation in 12 months has been phenomenal. His mentality is just win, 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 win. And that's just kind of seeped through. And the detail and demand he gives is incredible.
I've heard about these team meetings. I've heard about how intense they can be and how detailed they are.
I don't think Brian Little would have done a meeting for an hour and a half.
I'd have been asleep at the back, yeah.
No, we've had a couple of record meetings, but it's crazy the way he kind of keeps you. One player's asked to go to the toilet in a year.
Really?
Which one player, I'm going to tell you who.
Wow.
He just captures you for the whole time. You're learning wee things, just small, simple things. And that's why there's no secret as to why we're kind of climbing the table and getting better.
2024 promises to be a massive year for you and for Aston Villa. It could be you going up there next to lift the trophy.
Oh, I get excited about it. I do envisage it and try and picture myself lifting a trophy. It would be a massive dream honour.
I get the feeling that you're just ready now. You just got to get over the line.
Well, I think we've still got a long way to go to achieve anything, but if we can be, the Villa fans crave success, so if we can be the team that certainly breaks that small hoodoo trophy-wise, it would just be amazing to be part of it and hopefully get on the wall like yourself.
Great insight from John McGinn, particularly on his head coach at Unai Emery. And let's just not forget this: Villa haven't finished in the top flight, in the top four of the top flight since 1996. There's a lot of history to be written if they're to do that. But interesting to talk about him as maybe a disciplinarian, someone who looks right through you, doesn't really want to be your mate as a manager. Does that kind of remind you of yourselves under Sir Alex Ferguson?
Yeah, I suppose so. I think it's possibly a little bit more old-fashioned way of doing things. I actually personally prefer that out of a manager. I think the manager has to be sort of somebody that you're a little bit nervous around. You're a little bit nervous to knock on the door, even if you're club captain. We do see, however, a change in the type of manager in recent times. We see managers coming onto the pitch at every single game nowadays and cuddling all their players and blowing kisses to the crowd and things like that. I mean, that never used to happen. It was down the tunnel and leave the players to clap the fans and whatever. So there is a change now. I think there's a change in people and we all like to be appreciated when we go to work, when we go to training and things like that. So I think there is a change. But I think Emery possibly is a little bit more old school, certainly by the sounds of what the club skipper said then.
Yeah. Which kind of goes against the narrative, that we used to see of Unai Emery at Arsenal. And I think he got a bit of a rough press in some respects during his time in North London. But here, we're seeing him basically bedding down and just getting on with the job in hand?
No, I think if you look at Unai Emery's body of work over his whole career, he's been an exceptional manager, a winning manager. The only one that didn't, the anomaly there was Arsenal. You know, whether it's Valencia, Villarreal, Sevilla, everywhere he's gone, he's won. So I think John McGinn made a really good point, mentality. You can instill mentality on the players with leadership and being very demanding. Sir Alex was incredibly demanding. He was close to the players, but still, Mo makes a great point. You were very wary if you did something wrong. And John said, walking into his office, you know, you're thinking, oh, I've regretted this already. And that's what the big managers have. Jurgen Klopp has that. Pep has that. I think it's hard to make decisions when you're too close to the players, when you're really pally-pally, because then you can't drop them. You can say, boss, I thought we were pals. But when you're the leader and you're a little bit scared of your boss, like a bit like your teachers, and there's that respect element, I think then it's easier to be the boss. And I think Unai showed that he's the boss. He's changed that mentality, and now everybody is singing from the same hymn sheet. And
the only slight blip that you talk about, Owen, is he took over after Arsene Wenger. I mean, it's probably the most impossible job that you can take, and he only got a tiny sort of window to try to. So you could hardly say that was, you know, a disaster. I mean,
and not they were judged on.
They probably weren't ready from Arsenal, were they?
No, absolutely. So I mean, I would, you know, I'd put that aside and say, what a manager he has been for a long period of time.
And it's the speed in which he's got Villa flying, right? From the moment he came into Villa Park, I mean, they were just points above the bottom three.
Yeah, and it's not like he's gone and spent fortunes. He's improved players, hasn't he? And that's always the key. That's always the barometer, really, where you judge managers. If they come in and they utilise the same players, of course, in the last window he's bought one or two players, but he was improving that team before that happened. So that's a massive tick alongside his name. He's just done an incredible job. And we said right at the start of the season that I think, you know, they could be the team that surprise a few people. I thought maybe they could sneak into the Champions League. I thought that was being brave saying that. Would you be brave enough now to say they could be into the title challenge? I wouldn't put it past them.
Really?
In terms of the challenge?
Yeah.
There's no fluke about where they are, Manish. This is a proper team.
Owen?
Mo started early in those Christmas drinks, didn't he? They've been brilliant, honestly. I think top four would be an exceptional season. But when you're there, you start to believe, don't you?
If they win against Arsenal today...
Yeah.
Good telling you.
That's quite a statement then, isn't it? OK, all right.
Michael's
looking at me as if, watch this space, and make sure you clip that for later on in the season. OK, time for a quick break on Matchday Live.